Hello and welcome to this week's Oracle card reading for week commencing the 12th of February. This is Valentine's Day week, so if you are currently in a relationship, I hope that you're doing something nice to celebrate with your partner, and if you're single, perhaps you'll meet someone this week, or perhaps that we could all look really deeply this week into self-love and care for ourselves, because when we love ourselves, when we put that time and energy into ourselves that we would into a partner, our lives can just flourish in beautiful ways. So that is a gift I think that we should all give to ourselves this week to celebrate Valentine's Day. So we're going to pull 3 cards to symbolize the beginning, the middle and the end of this week. So we have our 3 cards there. And let's check out what comes up for us for the start of the week. So the first card that comes up is change, and it says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So this is almost like a sign for us to change things up, to do something a little bit different. Perhaps we join a new class, perhaps we take a new course, perhaps we just change our mindset on some things, or the way we view ourselves, the way we view other people, the way we view the world. We are asked to have some kind of movement and not have stagnation, because with stagnation nothing happens, nothing will ever change, and we stay in the same routine, which is fine if we are living a life that we love. But even within that, growth and change must occur, because otherwise we get bored. As humans, it is within us to have these amazing imaginations, and part of the reason for that is so that we can create. We are creative beings, and if we aren't allowing ourselves to have that movement and change, we can get quite down, actually, because it's really, really important for us as humans, for our soul growth, for everything else. So we are encouraged to change in some way at the start of this week. As we move into the middle of the week, the card that comes up is health, and it says, I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. What lovely words are they? I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. This is our physical vessel that takes us from A to B. And it's incredible what our bodies do. And sometimes we may know people that are going through ill health at the moment. If that is the case, my prayers are with you, or if it's something you're going through yourself. This vessel is so important because it does house our soul. It's like our personality, our soul gets to shine through this physical form. And whilst our health isn't necessarily always under our control, it's just not, but there are some things that potentially we could do to keep this vessel healthy as we can through our own power. So that includes exercise, even if it's just walking, putting water into our bodies, making sure that we're hydrated, nourishing our bodies with good foods, making sure we get all the vitamins that we need, making sure we get enough sleep and rest, not putting our bodies under too much strain, not being too sedentary. So it's really the middle of this week, our health is at the forefront. It doesn't mean that we are going to suffer bad health necessarily. It just means that our health is going to be something that perhaps we're getting more interested in, maybe our nutritional health as well. So that's something to consider in the middle of this week. And as we move into the end of the week, the card that actually comes up is death. And it says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. We all have cycles that we work on. We have our own personal cycles within astrology. The date we were born, we have our own cycle in that way. We have our own sort of cycles that we go through. Just when we look back over our past, we have patterns that we go through. We may have periods where life runs smoothly, and then periods of great change. Really, this card of death doesn't mean a physical death necessarily, okay? I just want to make sure that no one's worrying about that. Although physical death does happen as well, and it's one of the biggest fears that many of us have. I'm actually going to link a video under this video that I did a couple of years ago, and it's called Let's Talk About Death, and it's just a little video, not too heavy, about just talking about the concept of it, because as a society, particularly in Western society, it's something that we don't necessarily like to cover. But death, even when it's not a physical death of somebody that we know or love, can mean a death of a relationship. Sometimes our relationships end, whether they are romantic relationships or friendships. And it doesn't necessarily mean that those people completely leave our lives. It just means that perhaps the relationship changes in some way. And that can often be for the better. In fact, more often than not, it is for the better. We could lose a job only to gain something better. So really, it's about the death card at the end of this week is seeing life as cycles, endings becoming new beginnings. Just seeing that the wheel does turn in our lives, and to embrace that change at the start of the week, to just honor our bodies, look after our health, and actually start to get okay with the fact that change happens, even though it can be stressful and a lot of us don't like it. Sitting well with it and then embracing the new chapters that come afterwards. So I hope that this reading has made sense to you this week. It looks like it's going to be quite an interesting one. If you'd like to order your own personal reading to see what energies are actually going on in your personal life, I will leave all that information in the description box down below this video. Until we speak again, I'm sending you so much love. Lots of love, Alyssa.